Apple's holier-than-thou attitude is their undoing in court. Have you ever wondered what happens when you take on a tech giant in court? I did, and what unfolded was beyond my wildest dreams. It all started with a simple password change. I owned a MacBook and an iPhone, both covered by AppleCare Plus. When they started acting up, I tried to schedule a repair appointment. But TechCorp, the company behind these devices, had a ridiculous policy. I had to change my account password every 3 months, just to book a service appointment. After changing it countless times, I'd had enough. This wasn't about the password anymore. It was about principle. I decided to take a stand. My first stop was the Better Business Bureau. TechCorp's response? A form letter telling me to change my password for security reasons. When I pushed back, they hit me with the classic corporate brush-off. TechCorp considers this matter closed. That's when I decided to take them to small claims court. I sued for the replacement value of both devices, citing TechCorp's failure to honor their service agreement. On court day, I showed up in a suit, ready for battle. To my surprise, TechCorp sent Jake, the manager from my old store. I used to work for them. Jake, dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, looked completely out of place. The judge asked me to explain my case. I laid it out simply. TechCorp was blocking me from getting service I'd paid for. Then, the judge turned to Jake and asked if he was a lawyer. He wasn't. Only a chief executive or registered agent can represent a company in court, the judge explained, or they need to hire a lawyer. Jake, caught off guard, offered to set up a repair appointment right then and there. The judge agreed, and we set a date for 2 weeks later. At the appointment, they fixed my devices. A senior technician even emailed me, saying they'd override the password requirement for my account. Problem solved, right? Not quite. I was still out $60 in court fees. So we went back to court. This time, the judge was in a hurry and split the difference, awarding me $30. I knew the law. As the prevailing party, I was entitled to all court costs. I reached out to TechCorp's legal team, explaining this and warning them that if they didn't pay the full $60, I'd appeal, which would cost them even more. They didn't budge, so I appealed. In circuit court, Jake showed up again. The judge, sporting a bow tie and a no-nonsense attitude, asked him once more if he was a lawyer. Jake produced a letter from TechCorp's legal team, saying it was okay for him to represent them. The judge was not amused. TechCorp doesn't decide what happens in my courtroom, he said. He turned to me, asking if I objected to a continuance so TechCorp could get a lawyer. Yes, Your Honor, I replied. They've been told 3 times now that they need a lawyer. They keep disrespecting this court. The judge grinned, turned to Jake, and with a theatrical gesture said, sorry. He ruled in my favor for $185. But TechCorp still didn't pay. They claimed they were exploring their options. Little did they know, I had an ace up my sleeve from my time as an employee. I contacted my credit union and asked about the bank TechCorp used for payroll. Armed with this information, I went back to court and filed for garnishment. Within days, the check arrived. David had beaten Goliath. And all because they wouldn't let me book a simple repair appointment without changing my password.